Travis Shannon, aka Mr. Mountain West. I want to take the time to address some of the things that have been going on in the Flair for the Gold Fantasy Football League. Now, let me first of all say this. When I was told that I was allowed to join the Flair for the Gold Fantasy Football League, I, for one, was extremely happy. Because I, for one, thought I was joining the premier fantasy football league in the country. Now, I grew up in North Carolina. I've been living out in Wyoming the last 5 years, honing my skills in the best fantasy football leagues this side of the Mississippi. And I have proven myself as a winner here. 2 out of the last 3 years, I have taken home this trophy, the Mountain West title. And so I get the call. I get called up to the big leagues. All I hear is a bunch of boys running their mouths. And I'd like to address some of these boys running their mouths real quickly. I want to first of all address the icon, Jam Patterson. Now, Jam, you were on here the most, running your mouth the most. And that's okay, because people who can't play like to run their mouths the most. But I was thinking about this just last night. Let me tell you who the icon reminds me of. The icon reminds me of none other LeBum James himself. Here's the reason why. I've looked back through the Flair for the Gold Fantasy Football League previous title holders, and I don't see Jam as a title holder. I don't see him as a winner. I don't see him doing anything iconic. The only thing iconic he does is run his big-time mouth. So here's the thing. So he has, in the last video I saw from him, associated himself with Team Mo Man. You know what? I'll say your name all day long, Team Mo Man. I ain't scared of you. I'll write $50,000 checks in my sleep. All right, he's associated himself with Team Mo Man and Team Stud Stable, the previous winner of the Fantasy Football League. So here's this person who's supposed to be iconic, associating himself with 2 good fantasy football players. Remind you of anybody? Reminds me of somebody. LeBum James himself. If you can't win, let's try to associate ourselves with some winners. All right? So, the icon, there's nothing iconic about you. Team Mo Man, let me address you really quickly. There's nothing more disturbing to me than a 50-year-old man wearing a mask and has to have an entourage. First of all, we don't even know who is behind that mask. It could be Rick Haas for all I know. It sounds pretty. There's a lot of incoherent talking. There's a lot of stupid things being said. So we don't really know who's behind that mask. All I know is Team Mo Man, I'm not afraid of you. You can have some guy slashing his throat all you want. It doesn't frighten me. I don't care, and I'm not scared. Then we got our league champion, Heath Mulligan of the Stud Stable, calling in a restraining order. I mean, that is not what a champion does. Team Stud Stable, let me tell you this right now. When I win the Fantasy Football League this year, you won't see me being afraid of anybody. I am the best fantasy football player this side of the Mississippi. I am the Mountain West champion, and I'm bringing my skills to North Carolina in the Flair for the Gold Fantasy Football League. So all the rest of you, I'm not scared. Team Mo Man, yeah, I'll say your name again. I'm not scared. The icon, I know I'm not scared of you, because when it comes to big time playing, you'll step out just like your mentor, LeBron James. And Stud Stable, you've shown how weak you are by calling in a restraining order. All the rest of you, good luck, and you'll be seeing more of Mr. Mountain West, the Mountain West champion.